Everybody, this is Carla R. Jenkins, and welcome to an all new episode of Projectized, the project management show where I discuss three things: the business of project management, how businesses use project management, and obtaining project management certification. So, today I wanted to use this episode as an opportunity to discuss project management and use this episode as an opportunity to better educate the viewers about what to do. So, as a project manager, 90% of your job is communication. So, this is very important. And as it pertains to crisis communication, I want to put a formula out here so that people can have a better understanding of what communication is. So we have a formula here. Let's see, here we go. And it's the communication formula. So I'll put it in the chat. And it goes as follows. In the denominator, as you can see with the brackets, you have n times n minus 1 in the denominator on top divided by 2. That's the communication formula, where n equals number of people. You as a project manager have to count yourself as part of that n. Oftentimes, and this will be on a project management professional certification exam and the CAPM, you forget to count yourself, but you as a project manager have to count yourself. So I'll give you an example. Say n equals 3. Well, you put n outside the parenthesis and then n as 3 inside the parenthesis minus 1 divided by 2. So by order of operations, you have to work within the parenthesis first. So it's 3 minus 1, which is 2. 2 times 3 is 6, which is divided by 2, which is 3. Okay, now if we move up to say 5, and we put n equals 5, so it's 5 times in the parenthesis 5 minus 4, 5, which is minus 1, which is 4, divided by 2. So it's 4 times 5, which is 20, divided by 2, which is 10. As you can see, the more people you add, the bigger the communication channels become, which is very important when you're doing crisis communication. So what I recommend is that you choose one language, one or two languages. It can be English or the language that gets spoken the most during the project management, and one or two communication methods. So normally in a crisis, you probably don't have face-to-face because people are dispersed. So it can be email, Skype, it can be phone, but one or two methods. Because in a crisis, when you're doing crisis communication, you want to be able to effectively communicate with people because time is of the essence. Also, what I would recommend is knowing your stakeholders. So the definition of a stakeholder is any person or entity that can positively or negatively affect your project. Oftentimes in crisis communication, such as this is the case, it would also be the government. It can be the local government, state government, or federal government, because these aren't normal times. So there'll be some type of governmental regulation. Like right now, they have to shut down for social distancing to flatten the curve and slow down the spread of the coronavirus. And that's health and safety. So you have health and safety laws that you're following right now. So that's something I also wanted to bring up for crisis communication. Normally, if there's a crisis, there's some type of government intervention. And so you have to count the government as a stakeholder. But returning back to crisis communication and the formula that I put in the chat, what I would recommend when it comes to language is 1 to 2 main languages or 1 to 2 main or communication methods. And as I showcase with the equation, when you start adding things, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And the one thing you don't want to happen in a crisis is to muddy the communication lines, especially since I mentioned in the beginning that 90% of your job as a project manager is communication. So that concludes this episode of Projectized, the project management show. If you've been watching my show, you notice that tomorrow I'll be doing a 2-week project management professional training. Even though you can't sign up now, you can still check out my store, carlarjenkins.com/store, where you can get the best digital download products so you can download them immediately. All of them align with the project management body of knowledge so that you can download it, learn on your time and at your pace whenever you want to learn. So I would like to thank all live and replay viewers for taking out the time to watch this episode of Projectized. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss out on anything. And I'll see you in the next episode of Projectized. Have a wonderful day.